Hey everybody, it's Index here. I finally got around to actually making a video about fixing the error, or my error that I was, or launch error I was having with Gigantic. Um, Error 10011. Disclaimer, of course, this fix doesn't necessarily mean this will fix it for you, but maybe it will help. I'll go over exactly what happened and what I did to fix it, and then I'll go through the process before I had the final fix to show you the other fixes I did try in order to fix this launch error problem. Another note, this problem still seems to happen even when I use XSplit, the streaming software thing that I have. So be aware that I'll show a bit of that towards the end. That's the reason why you see me at the launch screen right now. So anyways, let's start with the actual problem itself. So of course, when I go ahead and hit play, I'm going to get the black screen that says, do you want to start easy launch, easy anti-cheat launcher? And then I hit yes, and then of course it's loading, and then I'm going to about to get the error. So this is the error that I get, showing exactly what it is. And yeah, so this is the fix that finally killed this error for me. Support got a hold of me at the last minute and said, hey, maybe you should shut off your firewall or Windows Defender or so on and so forth, or just, and I decided, what if I just got rid of Spybot Search and Destroy, which is my my antivirus. Now, of course, you can get rid of your antivirus, your Windows 10, go into your settings and uninstall programs or things like that. But I think for Windows 10, it's apps and features under the control panel itself. You go to the Windows section and do that. So yeah, so that's what fixed it for me, was uninstalling my antivirus I had. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to help you, but hey. So anyways, this is actually where I first started. When I first started off trying to figure out exactly what the problem was, I went on to Gigantic's forums. I looked it up. The first thing I saw, of course, was where it said the error 1001 when you launch the game. It said try restarting your computer. If that doesn't work, try launch the game through administrator. I did that. It was funny because down there, Steam, it says something a little bit different, but I didn't have that issue. But I did try that fix. But support told me if you try to run an admin, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work. So yeah, I just I tried that, and then eventually when I couldn't get to work after trying to reinstall and install the game a couple different occasions, I just kind of gave up on this and got a hold of support. So this is this next part is fixing the launcher to go as administrator. Like I said, this doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work. Support kind of told me not to do this, but you go to properties, and then you go to compatibility, and then change setting for all users. And there's a thing that needs to be checkmarked where it says run all programs as administrators. Make sure that you have that checked, hit apply, okay, and then it should run from there. But like I said before, support told me not to do that, so this next part is also try to launch your game from that. But anyways, next part is the anti-cheat program, the easy anti-cheat program. You go into the folder where it says easy anti-cheat setup. You double click on that, and then either you search on for Gigantic. I kind of misshoot that, and then I have to go back up in order to figure it out. But you can either uninstall it and then try to reinstall it, or so on and so forth. I think there's a modify or finish version, and then that's pretty much it with this. So where this is, if you have Steam, this is in your main file, the program files, and then Steam and Steam apps, common, Gigantic, and then from there. So that's where the file is currently located, as you can see from there. But unfortunately, both these did not work for me. So I went on to try something different. So on the Steam forums, I ended up seeing somebody talking about that installing a game called Paladins helped. Of course, this didn't help me, but what it did allow was support was bugging me about that in the documents folder in my games under Gigantic, or there should be a folder called Gigantic. Unfortunately, because the game didn't fully launch, well, the folder is not created. But what at least this game did once I installed it was allowed that folder to be created, which was interesting because afterwards I had reinstalled it, and then all of a sudden Gigantic at least put that. But however, I still had the launch error. So you can try this too, this method. So we're coming up to the last part of, I believe, or last two parts, I should say. So right here, there's a program called in the apps and features section, we uninstall programs basically, called Microsoft Visual C++ redistribution files. Now these redistribution files, these things, I would say these are your last resort in what you want to do, because these can do a lot of damage if you don't do things properly. Basically, from here, you can try to repair them through the modify part. I'll show you that in just a second. And see if you can do that in order to fix the issue. In the description, I should also show in the background about the stuff. But yeah, you can uninstall it or modify it. If you're going to uninstall, you need to make sure you reinstall these things, and I'll give you the websites for each of them. So for modify, like I said, there's a repair section, or there's an uninstall. I try to do the repair first because at least it doesn't get rid of it. It just tries to repair the situation. Uninstall, like I said, if you want to go ahead and do that, go ahead. But yeah, there's a couple of these. I believe the 2005 and the 2010, I don't believe I've touched. So do that at your own risk for those particular files. So these are the websites you can go to in order to get those redistribution files. There's 3 websites I'm going to put in the description showing you exactly where you can get each one of these. So once you once you get them, you can uninstall the thing, then reinstall it. But like I said, this is the last resort. Of course, again, this did not fix my issue. However, nevertheless, I am telling you about it because these were some of the options that I used in order to try to fix this issue. So anyways, this next website that's right here, support kind of gave me this website explaining about the Microsoft Visual C+ redistribution files. This will tell you the reason why there's so many. Usually it's because a lot of game developers use a lot of those particular packets. They package them together, and because they don't crunch together or they're not single filed, you're going to get a lot as time goes on, because they really pile up because each ones are individually used. So okay, what this will tell you, this section of it will tell you to go to your command prompt. But see, Windows 10 doesn't have command prompt. It has, I believe, PowerShell. But you want to run it PowerShell admin, not the regular version of it. Once you do that, this is, like I said, this is another way you can fix your files itself. That will come up. I'll show you what you have to copy and paste from this website. I'll kind of scroll down a little bit afterwards. And basically, once you copy and paste it, you hit enter. What it'll do is it will try to repair any corrupted files in Windows. Again, this is something I do at the last resort, and doesn't necessarily mean it's going to fix the issue. But heck, I tried it anyways because they hinted me at doing this, which is funny because that's what you have to copy, that line right there. And then you can just hit Control C and then Control V in order to paste that particular thing to command prompt. At least it allows you to do that. And then you hit enter, and then it should start repairing any corrupted files. Again, this did not work for me. I don't know how many times I need to repeat that. I'm sorry I have to repeat that. But, you know, these fixes don't necessarily mean it's going to work for everybody. So be aware of that. I don't know what to say past that, really, honestly. I'm trying to think what else. Anyways, what I'm gonna be showing in just a second also is the reason why you don't see me actually do a full launch of the game while trying to run my streaming software XSplit. And the reason for that is because the funny part is, even though I can run the game again, right? Fully, I get that same error if I try to run XSplit and then run Gigantic. That's the reason why you see me already launched into the game, because unfortunately I still get that same error. So I'm going to demonstrate it. So right now I have the streaming software running, but what it's going to do is it's going to basically do the same launch error. Now I'm not too sure if this might be a cause. If you guys are trying to stream, maybe this might be the cause as well. I'm not too sure. But yeah. So there's the easy anti-cheat black screen again, asking you yes, and then I hit yes. And then there's the launch error again. So that's interesting. But like I said, if I'm not running the streaming software, it works perfectly fine. I don't have any problems whatsoever. Beyond that, I'm trying to think. The game, like I said, I've been running the game for the last couple of weeks. Gigantic just had a major update. They added a new hero to the game, and at least I can still play it. I can tell you right now that other games that are using like the Unreal Engine are having the same exact problems. Oh no, not just running the Unreal Engine, I'm sorry, but also using the easy anti-cheat thing. As you can see, they support both things, so... And there's a couple other things you have to take note of. For instance, the launch error that's happening for me is probably not the same launch error that's happening for you. Sometimes launch errors just crash. I've heard a few people talk about blue screens, but one of the other prominent ones is the sense of it goes into a black window and doesn't fully launch. So, and then it crashes and it goes back to the desktop. Or they have to like alt-tab and delete out of it and shut down the process itself. So there's that situation. But yeah, in the end, what worked for me was getting rid of the antivirus. Which is funny because, like I said before, getting rid of the antivirus, I don't know why that blocked it, because the first 2 days... And of course, there was a Gigantic update. I'm not too sure if they put the easy anti-cheat engine after they did that update or it was already there before. But I can tell you for that first 2 days, I played Gigantic straight. I did not have this launch error at all. I didn't have any problems whatsoever. But all of a sudden, right after that, it was like weeks upon weeks of me trying to figure out what's causing it. And then I kind of gave up. I asked support. You know, it did help, but, you know, you have to understand, this was a lot of trial and error. And as you can see, I did try several different things before I got to this conclusion. And yes, I do have to thank support, because in some ways, by the end of it, after I had my mini rant with them, they finally came back and they said, maybe you should shut off the firewall thing. Like I said, you can go into Windows Defender and see if Windows Defender is blocking the application. Basically, right click on your where your toolbar, like your toolbar is, where your I want to say taskbar, I think that's correct, where the clock is and things like that, and you can see Windows Defender in there, and try to see through the firewall settings if you can change particular applications, things like that. Also, you can try to shut off your Windows Defender and then try to run Gigantic. But yeah, it's just so many things that are out there that you have to do. I did all that stuff, but most of that is basically common knowledge in order to get some of the stuff. But most of the stuff I was doing was installing the game, and doing all kinds of stuff. And it was just like, I was pulling out my hair at the end, but I'm kind of happy that it's fixed. The game is fun. It's enjoyable. I know there's no sound playing in the background because I'm basically doing commentary over this entire track, because I think it's easier than trying to copy and paste each of the different sections. So anyways, thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Until next time, I guess I'll see you all later. Take care.